Hi, I'm Sarah. And I'm with Joleen and Jess for BBCan. Hi, ladies. How are you?
And then I went to Nerdtainment. I thought it was my turn.
I'm like, spear fingers.
I didn't. I don't know how I'm starting this stream with the both of you. I did it. That's just how I did it. And the lighting is weird, and our connection. We all three have different lighting. This is amazing, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's
guys,
happening.
I did not go self-tanning. I apologize if it bothers you that I look a little like orange or like
no,
the
I think you're
president
glowing.
of the United States. Really?
It looks gorgeous.
I have like a pinky color happening. So yeah, I'm very jealous. I don't know what's happening. Okay. You know what else I don't know what's happening is in the BBCan house. There's so much to talk about. These people have lost their minds. I don't know what they're really doing. I can tell you what they're doing, but like what they're really doing is a whole other story. So can we start with last night's episode though? We've got Tara as HOH. We got Kiefer in her ear. We got Beth being a genius. She literally rolled over and woke up and said, I'm a genius. I'm going to get Brayden and Kiefer on the block. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? In no way does that make sense. Do you guys love
a downright mess?
What's happening?
A downright mess. People doing a lot of unnecessary SHIT. It's like unnecessary.
Yeah.
Insanely.
Her backdoor plan was ridiculous. But now, as we go further into the week, was it that ridiculous? Because now we're kind of in a weird situation. I mean, it's still ridiculous, but we're also in another ridiculous backdoor. But like they were saying, this week isn't even a true backdoor because everyone can play in the veto, so it's a screen door. I think Brayden said that. And this is more of Beth tooting her own horn and thinking she's a genius. The problem with this season is it's great. As far as craziness and watching entertainment. But for some reason, someone told these house guests, and Jess, as a former house guest, maybe you can speak to this. Why are they all saying we're legends? This is gonna go down. We're the best. This is the best alliance. We're the best moves. Like, when did this become a thing?
I've never heard it so much. Did you hear that in the house, Jess?
No, I didn't hear like, oh my God, this is going to be the best move ever. It was always like, I got to get these people the F out. Like, I like, for me, it was never like, this is going to be the biggest game move ever. Like, power moves, amazing HOH. It just happened to be like that, It was not me ever trying to make it be that way. So it was just what I felt made most sense for my game. So I realized that, this Canadian cast does not feel or think the same way in terms of playing their own games. It's just the weirdest thing. It's very triggering, actually. It's like, why? It was just so very unnecessary.
Canada does definitely play different. I felt like all these international shows that we watch, the international versions, they definitely play differently than America. But I love that, Beth is telling in Monday night's episode, again, things have changed since then, but Monday night's episode, we see Beth telling Tara, you and me, girl, we going, we got this. Like, we just have to, I definitely want to cut a guy. We just got to can you put up Kiefer and Brayden? Like, what? Brayden is so excited to go on the block. Like, Brayden would love it. And then Kiefer swoops right in and he's like, haha, I don't know if you've heard it yet, but here's Beth's plan. She's going to lie to you. And she's really protecting Jed. And he's driving the wedge between Ty and Jed and Beth. And he's doing a lot of work here. There was so much cackling from Beth in this episode.
Oh,
she cackles.
Cackling. It's a problem.
If you were to cast a villain in like a superhero movie, they cackle like that, like.
Well, Well, and why does she really
me.
think? I mean, her game is just so messy because she's playing all the sides, lying to all the people. So we have no one that we know she's truly loyal to or truly truthful to. And her radar is off on saying, I'm Tara's own. Tara's been talking to Kiefer for a long time. They even had a dumb alliance name. You know? And the fact that she's never worked with women and now she's on day 40, whatever, telling the only other woman, I want to work with women. But you've only proven to want to work with men, which is fine. But no one's going to believe that you want to work with women now, especially now that you're in a showmance. You're in a throuple.
Well, it's not even man versus woman or woman, whatever.
But to Tara, her pitch to Tara is kind of that woman power. Why would we believe that?
Well, it's just like individually, why would Tara believe that they're working together when she has not, like we talked about this on Friday, like she did not foster those relationships. The only relationship she has fostered is Jed and a little bit of Ty. So like, it doesn't matter. Like even Brayden is like, oh, she like was my friend for 2 weeks and now she's trying to get me on the block. Like it just doesn't magically work like that.
Yeah. I think
Beth's running around saying that Brayden can't play the game. And
I think the issue... I guess my biggest issue, and I don't know if who watches the game like this, but you kind of put yourself in that situation, right? Like if, like I put myself in Tara's situation, and I was like, if Beth was to would have talked to me this way, how would I feel? And I swear, I've never seen so much gaslighting in my life. Like the audacity that someone would be like, you have no one in this game. Like, bitch, how do you not know that? How did you know? Seriously, I think that if I would have been in this Canada house, like I would have gone full blown fucking Puerto Rican on their asses. Like, and I didn't even get like that in my own my own season, you know? So it was just kind of I get triggered. Watching this is really triggering because I'm just like, girl, what the hell are you thinking? What are you talking about? I'm the only person you have. This person hasn't been playing. I mean, sure, maybe they haven't been playing, but you don't know that. You don't know what they're doing in that house. Like the idea that you actually think you're the only person playing a game, it's very odd. It's very odd to me.
It's the entitlement, Jess. She comes in and her game is very entitled. And the way she speaks to people, for someone who thinks she has a great social game, she really speaks down to people. And I've talked about this when Sarah and I talk. I don't like the way she talks to Ty. I've never really liked the way she talks to Ty. She's very comfortable cutting him down and getting very upset. And now the way she's coming in to the HOH's room saying the person that has the power to put you on the block, and basically, like, she's running the game. It's very strange because she thinks I've worked so hard on my social game. I've worked so hard to make it that everybody likes me. But girl, no. Bad.
Yeah, the fact that she can say things like, well, Brayden hasn't done anything all game. He doesn't even know that I have been running everything. And so it just like logically doesn't make sense because it's like if Brayden doesn't know all the moves that you've made, then you have to say that you wouldn't know all the moves he's made, right? Like the delusion is just off the charts. And I do think Tina got in her head with that whole like, ooh, you can really have to make your case, if you're in final two. And so everything, she has to push even harder to be like, no, it's my move. It's my move. Tara's HOH and I'm making the moves. And you're just like, oh, that just doesn't A and B.
Did you guys see on the feeds over the weekend her talking herself up to the cams, walking back and forth in Expedia, like, I got here by myself. I've done everything for me. And it's like, what? You have a whole family unit behind you. She acts as though she was left on the street at 6 months old to raise herself. She met some wolves. I mean, what is her story? No, you have Ashley, your sister, who you seem pretty dependent on, your family, just like me. I don't know. It's just like, you've had some help. You've definitely had help. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, I like the story about being raised by wolves. That actually,
because she was just like, I got into high school by myself. I got into college by myself. I got into this room by myself. I got into it's like, yeah, so did everybody. Like, what are you talking about? She's very weird.
I have no words for this girl. I want to be so nice. It's like I really do want to be nice because I want to. I don't know. I feel like it's really rough when I got out, you know, and I know how it was inside.
Yeah,
but this is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't. This is off.
It's not great play, and
not at all.
The delusion is just like affecting her game choices. Because for a minute there, I put a lot of hope in her, and I was like, oh, we got some, you know, I think she can make some moves here. I'm real excited, and then she just lost the plot, and so it's just disappointing. Let's jump to the Wendy's where Tara takes Ty, because obviously this is not on the feeds, and so I was excited to see what was actually said, because when Ty came back, you know, it seemed like he was holding things back from Jed, and now I can see why. He, you know, basically summed it up to her that he's a third wheel. He definitely wouldn't use the veto, which is still... I don't know if he would have or not. But, you know, he's saying, like, I don't see Jed and Beth turning on each other, so, like, I have to separate myself.
Good for him. Good for him. Ty playing the game on day 50. Like, go Ty. Like, look, and here's I don't know. I don't even want to talk anymore. I was just like, and people were complaining that my game sucked. Like, and I just get so offended now because I'm just like, really? I was a bad player? I was a bad player? Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at season 22 and look at this. And I'm a bad player? Get out of here. You know?
Yeah,
so I'm just like, it's kind of like a catch-22. I hate looking at it, but I love to see it because it's like, yes.
Isn't it so much easier playing the game outside of the house, Jess, when you're watching? It's so easy. Right? It's so fun.
Oh my gosh. But it's not as fun for me because I still do have like connects to some of these like people in weird ways where like I'm just not. It's like, oh, Jessica said this. And so like it all of a sudden becomes part of like Us Weekly or something. And, you know, that's the sucky part. Like I want to be able to really tell you ladies how I feel, which it sounds like I am telling you how I feel. But like I'm still, believe it or not, kind of holding back a little bit.
Feel free to let it out because we could all, you know, be quoted in Us Weekly. We don't care, Jess. We don't care.
Oh, wouldn't we would love it. Please quote us.
I think delusional. I would use the word that Seth has in the chat, and I would say hot garbage. That is like the perfect way to describe this mess.
Hot garbage, but so entertaining. Today the feeds were on fire with so much, and I mean, I know we're not there yet in the conversation.
We're not, and that's the part I want to talk about because seriously, Twitter has gone rampant. Like seriously.
I love it when they make poor decisions. I'm here for gameplay. And if you play hard in the worst way ever, it just is fun and messy for us. So, like, that's okay as long as you're playing. And so, even though I'm disappointed in some of the game decisions by a few of these people, doesn't matter because they're entertaining me. So, let's just go ahead and get to the point because Tara is going to nominate Beth and Jed. That's where Monday's episode ends. But we got spoilers, guys. Everyone do a little dance. Spoilers.
Jess is just watching us like, or she's frozen. I don't know.
Oh, she froze. I was like, Jess.
I know. I was like, Jess is judging us. I think she's judging us, but no, she's just frozen. Hopefully she comes back.
Oh, that's disappointing. She froze on a judgy face.
But I mean, of course, look at what a model she is. When I freeze, I'm like this. And Jess freezes like,
in the most gorgeous pose, yes.
In a model way.
Yes,
these
absolutely. All right, well, while we hopefully get Jess back, guess who won the veto, Joleen?
Was it Ty?
No.
Was it Kiefer?
No, it was someone on the block.
Was it Beth?
It wasn't.
Could it have been King Jed, the queen of the game?
It was. Our Jedson won that veto. So great. He can take himself off the block. Great. Awesome. That sounds like a great plan. But is that what happened?
It's not. He actually used the veto though, but I think he forgot he was on the block, right?
Is that what happened? He forgot he was on the block, and he took his best gal, Beth, off that block.
And my computer was so mad. We were talking about hot garbage and it overheated.
We thought you were judging us because we were dancing, Jess, and you were just frozen. And then, but you froze just like a model. Perfect. Yeah. It was just like,
oh, great. At least it wasn't beautiful. Like a weird
no,
look.
It was a look. It was, I wish I just looked like that. Like, it was a good one. It was a good one.
Yeah. Well, Jess, we have said that Jed won veto, that he took Beth off the block, and then to make matters even more confusing, Braden was the replacement nominee.
A mess.
You guys, how did we get here?
I have no clue. No clue. Like, actually, I want to give Kiefer the biggest props for thinking this could actually happen, because nobody believed it could happen and was thinking that Kiefer was actually the dumbass to even try to do it, and actually succeeded. Just like cut him the check.
They don't even see Kiefer as the biggest target now. They're seeing Jed to the point where they are going against their own best interests, a lot of them, to get Jed out, to keep Beth willing to. I was shocked when Tara put Braden on the block over Ty, because there was this whole deal that was happening. So you have the four, you have Tara, you have Braden, you have Kiefer, you have Ty talking about how can we still get Jed out. We get him to use it on Beth because Jed had been saying what a, stud move that would be, sort of thing, like a big move. But I think the biggest move in Big Brother for future house guests is always use the POV on yourself. This isn't like I have an extra immunity idol. Here's one for you. This is one POV. Take yourself off. So he takes off Beth, and then I'm thinking, all right, you have to break up this throuple. Throw Ty up as much as I love Ty, and he's on my team. She puts Bray, and I thought she was lying to Ty, saying, I won't put you up.
Me too. I think we all were. I think she told, but here's the problem with all of this is, right, there are a lot of people who are very comfortable. Like Bray, as much as I love him, he's probably my favorite in the house, personality wise. And I think that if I was in the house, he'd be an automatic bestie. I love him. However, he has been so comfortable. Like, he is not playing game. He's just being social and talking and gossiping and doing whatever it needs to do to just like kind of be liked and everything. And he is, and that's fine. But what in the world was it that Tara told him, I'm going to put you on the block. Are you okay with that? And who in their right mind says, yeah? Like,
yeah, that's the problem, is that Tara, like, she does like Braden. So when I think it started with Jed just being like, it would really suck if you put Ty, like, Jed kind of got in her head. So she was like backing off of putting Ty up, which I just don't fully understand. But when she got to Braden and she was like, dude, if you have any problems, I won't put you up. That's when Braden needed to say, yes, I know you don't think I would go, but it's just too dangerous. We got to put Ty up. And that's it. Like, no one's going to be mad at you for saying that.
Yeah, pawns go home. They're like
all the
in
time.
Any and every situation all the time. And especially, like, let's get real. In that particular house, how as Braden would you being in that house knowing that there's flips every other second?
Yes.
What would make you feel comfortable going on the block? Like,
no.
Yeah, that's
why I kind of think if Kiefer wouldn't have got to him before the Beth plan, with the whole like backdoor Jed, part of me when Sarah and I first talked about it, I was like, I think he would have fell for it. I kind of do. Not because he's dumb. I don't think Braden's a dumb player. I think Braden, obviously, like socially, he's very good. He can read people, but I just don't think he knows yet the severity of putting yourself in that situation is, I mean, maybe there's some kind of delusion there too, where he just thinks there's no way they'd vote me out over this.
You know who felt that way? You know who felt that way was my season was Sis. That one, she was pissed the F off when she went home because she raised her hand and said, it's better that I go on the block because everybody loves me and I won't get like, if you put Christy on, she's definitely going to go, but there's no way I could leave. And then when she found out that she was the one leaving, it's like all hell broke loose. I mean, it was pretty entertaining, but it was
kind of a Beth. I mean, she's not, I mean, Beth, I think, is a lot smarter in the game, but she's feisty like Beth and she's delusional like Beth. So she kind of,
but she never did what Beth was doing. She was just very much like, she would talk her shit and then like someone would come by and then she would just like automatically freeze up and not say anything. And she's kind of like that in real life. So it's not like, you know, she wasn't playing a character.
What do you mean, Jess? She never pops off? Like, I'm going to pop off. And then she never pops off? So
guess
weird.
what? She also never played the game. So
which is exactly what people said. It's like you can't get mad leaving because you didn't play the game. You can leave for not playing the game just as much as you can leave for playing the game. It's you know, at this point, like you know, Sis was the fact that she was, I mean, she basically didn't tell Beth and Holly and Jackson that she would that she was on their times.
I know, like that's her name.
I know. It's like, okay, so Holly
Beth.
and they knew that she was tied to Nick, and it was just like guilty by association. You got to go, you know. So you leave when you're doing a lot, and you leave when you do nothing. You know, it's like there has to be a balance, you know, and right now everybody's just doing the mostest, like seriously.
Well, they're doing too much because so back when, so Jed won the veto. The few days leading up to that, Kiefer was doing so much work to like trash Beth's game, right? And it got to the point where everyone was ready to just let Beth go. So when Jed won, it's like, okay, so great, you vote out Beth, no big deal, right? And then Kiefer's the one who's like, what? Do you think that we could get Jed to use it on Beth? And then we could just vote Jed out. And I was like, well, wait. I mean, I get that Jed is a target, but like, why are we going through all this work? It's like extra work to get Jed out when you could just get Beth out. Same difference. It's
because they're bored. They're bored in the house and they're in the house bored. Bored in the house and they're in the house bored.
And I think they're playing very emotional too, because you have Kiefer who still has feelings about Jed going after him and then going, JK, we're gonna vote you out. JK, we're not gonna vote you out. And then you have Ty now. So Ty, who we thought, you know, who's been in the throuple since day one. If anything, Ty was the original of the triangle. He's the try, and the other two are the angles. Is that how it works? I don't know math, but Ty was he's the originator. He had Beth attracted to him, he had Jed attracted to him, and then they attracted to each other. So somewhere along the way, like always happens, I see a lot of people online talking, what happened to Ty? Why is Ty so okay now with Jed going? And I think this is kind of a long time coming thing. I think he watched, just think about it, you guys, put yourself in his position. Yeah. It might not be the best move for him game-wise, but it depends how you look at it. But just looking at it from an emotional standpoint, like Kiefer making an emotional decision to want Jed out at this point when really Jed's kind of a shield and people are going after him, and that's still, you know, you still got 6 people in the game. But you have Ty, who was kind of with Beth hanging out and then had Jed. So he was the originator. And then they went to each other. And don't ever think that some people aren't going to feel some type of way about that. Even though I don't believe Ty was ever truly into Beth. He talked about being in love with some other woman that's been his friend for years. That's who he's going to marry. And that's when Beth was like, oh, maybe I'll give Jed a try. I think Beth likes Ty a lot more than Ty likes Beth, but I think that Ty doesn't want to lose out in any of these situations. So these two people kind of went off on their own, and now he didn't forget about that. He filed it.
Right.
He's a mature adult, and he's like, all right, well, then I'm not really your final two, bro. She's your final two.
But also, don't you think that Kiefer's done a really good job of just like pushing that button?
Yes,
you know, like
sure. Absolutely.
Like Beth made the mistake of making Ty feel like she was cool with him going up, so that's one thing that pissed him off. And then Kiefer's like, "Dang, that Jed and Beth," you know. And Ty, like after a while, it's gonna bubble up. He remembers all those things, and Kiefer just
like
keeps
an
pointing
elephant.
out how they're a duo. They're gonna cut you. They don't care about you. And then put him on slop for the first time ever, and we got a whole new Ty this week.
Yeah, Kiefer's out. Look, Kiefer, as much as I don't care, I mean, I don't care for any of the lack of humility that any of these players have. It seems like the lack of self-awareness is like through the roof. And while I love people who are confident, there's a very thin line between cockiness and confidence, and like that's basically where all of the house guests are at this point. They're just way too cocky for their own good. But what I will say with Kiefer is that like he's had a lot thrown at him, and so like I totally understand why he's doing what he's doing. You know, like you have someone who like they literally all voted him out to keep Toya, and you know that's like, oop, let me file that one on this. I filed that one, you know, and then like they tried backdooring him this time. I have no idea how these house guests do not realize, like, you got to get rid of these people. Like, look what you did to them. Look what you did. You don't think they're ever...
You're never going to recover from that. You're never going to recover from trying to get Kiefer out and then going, JK, because Kiefer really was sunsetters till the end. He was obsessed with Jed. He loved being in that group of guys and feeling cool and having his side pieces as well. You're never going to recover from that. You're also never going to recover from your boy going after a girl that you were kind of just hanging with. You might go, yeah, I don't really care. But in the back of your head, you're like, is that what you do? Is that how you roll? And so there's a lot of personal. I'm sure, Jess, you can speak to that obviously better than any of us. In this game, you want to be straight strategic, but I think some of this personal stuff, it might not be best for your game, but you're like, I want to see them go. I want to be the reason.
Absolutely. I mean, I think in comparison to like my season, why? Because a lot of people ask me, why did I target Jack versus, you know, Mickey? And for me, Jack was kind of the Ty in this situation where he was not like Ty, like actually nothing like him, but in the sense that he was like the kind of that person that was like the glue, you know. It was Jack, and then it was Christy and Tommy and Sis, and they were all kind of like hovering around Jack for some reason, like keeping him very, very safe. And he was doing cocky ass shit. Sorry, I'm swearing like a sailor. I apologize. I do have this issue. Like I do typically swear. So I'm not going to say I never do this. But yeah, and he was so cocky that he would make these decisions, say they were group or house decisions, and I never heard of, you know, like I was always the last person to hear them. I was always like he didn't even campaign, you know, knowing that I was the one who was split, like that I was going to be able to break the tie. I needed him out. There was no way. Mickey, I didn't like either. Don't get me wrong. However, I know a lot of people didn't like him, you know, so there was nowhere in my mind that said he wasn't going to be on the block later on. How the hell he managed to stay safe the whole time around, it was beyond me. And I don't know why nobody like tried targeting him. And that's exactly the feeling that I have now with Tara and what she's doing. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? Putting your only ally, Braden, like the only guy that had some type of trust in you and is now talking about putting you on the block if he wins HOH. You like literally burned all of your bridges. Girl, I have no idea what you're still doing here. I think you should put yourself on the block. Like, I mean, you're HOH. Factor yourself. Kick yourself out.
Yeah,
she had one job:
Braden,
separate the throuple.
Put Braden on the block with. So that means the votes are coming from Beth, Ty, and Kiefer.
Those two.
Beth, Ty, and Kiefer, and you put Braden on the block, like
Sarah said, they flip so often. So most people might say, well, Braden, of course, is going to be safe. Why would you keep him? This house isn't, we don't know. Like, they just changed their mind. They're like, we're going to go against our own alliance and turn on someone, put him up, and then go, JK, we're not going to vote you out. Just kidding. It's for jokes. We love you. We never meant it. I mean,
well, the thing is that they're all saying that, right? So we don't even know what's true or what's not, because we're just like, is this real? Like, are they really serious when they say this? Is Beth really? Like, I mean, yo,
they don't know what they're doing.
She's ruthless. Like, this is ruthless. She's
speaking like that. She really is.
Okay, so let's move forward to today's feeds, because so Braden goes up under the delusion that sure, Beth, Ty, and Kiefer are definitely going to vote Jed out, which was just dangerous and questionable from the get-go. But Kiefer and Ty are holding strong here. It sounds like they still plan to vote out Jed. But then Beth got wind that this plan is going forward without her being in charge of it. And we know how important it is for her to make the moves here. So she took another step and said, Jed, Ty's lying to you. And she tells Jed that he
was like, and that moment of the feeds, you guys, if you didn't see it, go to scenarios, go somewhere where you can watch little clips, because it is amazing to watch everything finally click with Jed. Like, you mean Ty could turn on me? You mean me not using the power veto on myself, but using it on you could ultimately hurt me? And then he's got to walk. He gets up, and she's like, yeah. And then she's checking her makeup, and don't I have you, but I had to tell Ty. So she's saying I had to tell Ty all these things, because really, when she's talking to Ty, she's like, it's always been me and you. I've been lying for 54 days, and we're just like, we don't know what to do with this, because we don't have good DRs where she can say, hey, I'm playing this or I'm playing that. We don't see that in the episode.
Yeah, and she didn't say it in the episode either. They're not giving her that mastermind edit.
No, so I feel like she'll just say anything. She's literally playing all sides, and she has no one she's truly, truly, truly loyal to. She has a very floater social game. Who's ever in power, she hops over there. She wants to kind of lead, but she never can quite lead. Do you know what I mean? And the couple times she's been in power, the one time she's been in power, she didn't even necessarily, she didn't necessarily do what was best for her game.
She did. Joleen, how many times do we have to talk about this? She totally took Victoria out for her.
She's even said, she's even said on the feeds now, saying, I don't know if that was necessarily, I wish I would have. That's because she played with her going forward. So I don't know.
That's exactly.
That's what I'm saying. She plays all the sides. She doesn't even know where she truly fits her stand.
She's not playing strategically. None of them are. Like, they don't really know what's going on. They're just. It's like they're like monkeys who are just like throwing their own shit around and seeing if it sticks.
Game.
That's exactly what they're doing. It's just like, let me see if this is gonna. Oh, that didn't stick. Let me try this.
So much, like, you lie in Big Brother. That's part of it. Manipulate, but you have to tell the truth sometime. What is your truth? We don't know, and I honestly don't think she knows anymore.
I don't think she does either, because I think she was like going down a path where she was like, I'm gonna cut Jed and I'm gonna be so ruthless. And then when Tina like opened up her eyes, she like went the wrong way and doubled down on, no, I will take Jed to the end and then I'll still win. So here we are, like, where you could get Jed out, but she's like, oh, well, I'm not going to do it if it's not my move. I'm not going to give Tara this on her resume. It has to be me in control of everything. So then she has to, like, take a turn and then take another turn because she has to, you know, make sure that it's her move.
It's just
She's
so
just lost the plot. She's just confused.
but she's being ruthless in the process. Like she's a little much. And
Jed's mom is all over it on Twitter. Mama T, Stacey T. Oh my god. That is the account to follow right now.
I'm being a little spicy, like Spicy V, right? Is that
oh my goodness. Spicy T.
When she gets out of the house, poor Beth. She got
well, I mean, they're not gonna. This isn't gonna last.
No.
I mean,
oh my god. Wait. Okay. So
she
like
pawning him off on her friend anyway.
My heart, this is where look. I get it. It's a game, but it kind of it's a game, but it's not. Because people's actual feelings, it's still your life. It's still like what you feel. I mean, you're playing the game based on how you would play it. Some people are literally other characters, which they're really not. Okay. They say that they're playing characters, but that's actually them. Sorry if like maybe when Beth comes back in or like actually comes back out, she'll just say, well, that was just me playing the game. I
think you're right, Jess, because even the story she tells,
I don't think so.
If we're talking about this, she said she was bragging to Jed about getting her ex to cheat on his current girlfriend with her. So that's kind of how you are in life is you're going to bring that into the Big Brother house. You're not, if you are not someone who would stab someone in the back or cheat or steal or lie, you're not going to do it.
Exactly.
You're just not going to, and not for $100K. You're not going to do it.
This is literally, I always compare, this sounds so dramatic, but hey, I'm dramatic like this. We always compared it to The Walking Dead. Like you're in, like, it's just you. Like after a while, they even forgot that y'all, like, that we exist. You know, they're just thinking what happens if we're like the last people on earth and like the pandemic just got everybody, you know, and this is survival of the fittest. That's how you're playing the game. So the things that this Beth does, whether it's sleeping with Jed and then, you know, groping on Ty and then doing all this stuff, no slut shaming because, hey, I like sluts. I used to be one. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's fine. I never did it on public television. I mean, I told you guys that, but like, you guys didn't see it. You know, it's not like you could go on Pornhub and see it or anything.
Like some people.
Like some people. Yeah, but it's just like, nah, if you're willing to do a lot of this on public television, you know that people are watching, more than likely you're kind of like this. You're living your full out fantasy. Like,
and that's okay. Like if Beth would just own that she's like super savage after this, and that's how she is in her life. I think, well, I don't know for Canada. I think US audiences, we like when that's one thing that, you know, Nicole Franz was just always a great example of that. If she would just own her kind of dirty gameplay, I'd be like, get it, girl, get it, fine. But the fact that you want to be America's sweetheart, which who wants to be America's sweetheart? There's no such thing. You can't. I mean, it puts you in a little box. You can't play the game, you know?
Yeah.
So just own it.
And then Jen Mom just hates her. And it's so
much.
Bad. It's so bad.
I think Beth wants to. I don't think she wants to be a sweetheart. I think she wants to be the villain, and she's just missing the boat. She's trying to be cutthroat and fierce, but then just not seeing the big picture. But I have a question for you guys about. So Beth has revealed to Jed that Ty is lying, and Jed is sad boy and questioning his move here to save Beth. But Beth was like, well, we wouldn't have known that Ty is willing to cut us had you not done this. This was really a great move for us to figure this out. But I felt like at first I was like, if Beth is, I mean, she took the first move, but if Jed and Ty really talk this out, Ty could throw Beth right back under the bus. Like, she's not super, super safe. Hasn't happened yet.
But she didn't. No, did you see Jed ask Ty if if she's done anything like
Right.
sketchy, and he said no.
So no, shut it
So
down.
that's
Yeah,
it.
and I
Like
think
Ty's not playing. I don't
how
know.
Beth has covered her tracks with Jed is that she's went to Jed every time and said, I'm acting this way to Ty. I'm saying those kind of things. I'm pretending I'm along with it to get it out of him. She says, how I've been playing everyone in the house all season, and just agreeing with them and being on board is what I'm doing. I've always brought it back to you. You are my number one. And so Jed, I mean, it's really great gaslighting.
Yeah.
I mean, so Jed is like,
but she's also said that in the DRs, right? Because I feel like that's how yesterday's episode kind of was. It was very much about her and Jed. So, right? Like she did say,
just so hard to know.
I know
for sure, because I don't know. I want to believe that, okay, deep down, it is now in her best interest to take Jed to the end, because none of these other people are going to take her, even though she might, in fact, be a good person to take since nobody likes her on the jury. But that can, things can change with game moves and things like that. So you never do know. But at this point, you have this guy who's willing to take you to the end. And if you can plead your case, just like Tina said, all Tina was saying is you better have your ducks in a row, which is true for everyone going into a jury or into a final two situation. Right. And if you're able to sell the case that you were the brains behind him and you used him as a meat shield, yet you still won stuff, you could win the game. But I feel like she just, like Sarah said, let it get so far into her head, and all of a sudden she's on this like the patriarchy, and she's just like all of a sudden this woman who is not getting the credit that she deserves. And you're like, no, Beth, you're just playing a really messy game, and it doesn't make sense at this point. But I don't think Ty will be able to use this against Beth, because Beth has gotten into Jed and said, hey, I might have had to say this or that, but I really care about you and I'm here for you.
Absolutely. I think what really surprises me, though, is the men in the house willing to keep Beth over Jed. Like, that really, really surprises me, because in my mind, in the way I've seen it, is that that Beth is kind of running things. She's the one who's putting those things in Jed's ear, and and kind of maneuvering things that way. I thought maybe the men, the guys, Ty and Kiefer were able to see that and say, we got to get rid of Beth so that Jed is more loyal to us, and not the other way around. It's just very surprising to me.
I think it kind of appears that way, but the more I watch, the more Jed has just as much strategic input as Beth has, but Beth likes to think of herself. Like in, I think, yesterday's episode, sometimes I can't remember the feeds from the episodes, when she was like, oh, your muscles in my brains, but really they've been on similar, they've had similar thoughts about strategy. Even the backdoor plan that she had, where she's going to pretend to backdoor Jed, it kind of started being his idea first. So I don't even think she can sell that she is the strategic mastermind behind them as a couple, because I don't think she is. I think she's kind of late to the party on a lot of things. And I don't think anyone would believe it anyways. But I see what you're saying. You would think that they would, because normally in these showmances, when there's two guys like Kiefer or Ty who are part of the alliance, they're like, oh, she's getting in his head.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm here thinking like, gosh, Sarah, I am so sorry. Like, I am totally messing up your family channel. Like,
Jess is acting like she's on my channel.
I'm messing up Sarah's wholesome family channel. But okay, this is the last one, and I will be a good girl from now on. But what happened to bros before hoes? Like, seriously, like it's kind. I thought that Ty and Jed were just gonna be like two peas in a pod, that they were just gonna cut Beth whenever, like, they were all good and dandy, having fun with her, just like she was having fun with them, like, and everything was good. But she literally came in between them.
I think it was Kiefer, though. I think that, Jed and Ty were more tight than with Beth. And I think Kiefer just planted that fear in Ty, and Ty's the one that pulled away. I mean, Ty pulled away a little while ago and really upped his social game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was like, I don't want to be a part of a trio. I don't want to look like I'm in this duo. And he built the relationship with Brayden. He built these other relationships. So then Kiefer like kind of just like kept going with that wedge and was like, Jed and Beth, they're always together, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, you know, yeah, it's easy to be paranoid about a girl with your dude. You don't know what's happening behind those closed doors. But again, I keep giving Kiefer a lot of credit, you guys.
Don't give him that much credit, Sarah.
I know. But it's very sad to see that the gaming aspect of it, like, did it become a little personal? Like, they are talking a lot about how much of an idiot he is, and they're laughing about it, and you know, it's kind of like the big joke. And I saw in some of the feeds, you know, that they were saying like he's not going to talk to anybody coming out of here, and I like literally would not blame him. He needs to get off of social media. Like, he should have stayed on. I don't think
Mama T's going to let him talk to anybody.
No, he should have stayed on Love Island. Now we know people who are for Love Island need to stay on Love Island. Like,
just go to that Love Island.
I mean, honestly, not finding it in Big Brother.
This is cutthroat, especially for Canada, but I feel like it would still be cutthroat for America as well.
Oh, absolutely.
But for your alliance members to push you into using the veto on someone else so that they could vote you out, I mean, that really is harsh. I mean, I'm all for big gameplay, but like, that's harsh. I would have just taken Beth out.
Well, and how are they gonna be this? What happened to we want to be the greatest alliance in the history of Big Brother? You can't. You keep taking each other out. You keep voting each other out. You keep putting each other on the block. Done. You can't be. There's no loyalty. And we should have known right when we were all asking, God, this love triangle, this throuple, like no one's mad. Someone's always mad. The chickens all come home to roost. The boners all come home to roost. Like, it is gonna. You don't get out of this. It's messy. That's why 3 is a crowd. You got to have 4 or 2. It's got to be even. It always, I don't care if Ty didn't care about her. I don't care. It's always going to get messy. And you just need someone to just kind of remind you, which I think Ty always, like I said, filed it. And like Sarah said, Kiefer, put a little salt on that wound. You want a little salt, Ty? Then Ty's like, yeah, I'm done with this. So it's cutthroat, but it's so entertaining. And it might not be in their best game move, but I don't care.
I cringe. I cringe as a person who's played the game. I cringe. And thank you, Sue. I don't know if that's a compliment or if that
is a huge compliment. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But like Janelle, and I love Janelle, but Janelle is like, woo. Like, I mean, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to, you know.
What's the point, Jess? Your season was trash. You and Kemi are the only good ones. Who cares?
Poor Jess. Your season. Poor Jess.
Yeah, my
okay. So what do we? Okay, I think that because Beth has revealed this a little on the early side, like Kiefer was trying to keep this on the DL, but she has revealed it. Jed's gonna do some crying. We saw last week how Kiefer was able to flip things. Is Jed going to be able to flip things and get Brayden out? What do you guys think?
Well, you saw how Tara was like, what was I thinking? Why did I even put her? I'm like, girl, seriously?
Real quick, girl.
Like, it like an hour after you put them up, now is like, what were you thinking? You had like a day, more than a day, than to think about this. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're playing to win. I honestly don't know.
There was talk in the house, you guys, that Jed, I think another way that they were able to kind of separate Ty from them and also think this is a good plan is there was talk that Beth and Jed had spoken about splitting the money, which we all know is a major no-no in BBUS. And I think it's also a no-no in BB Canada.
Oh, absolutely.
So even though there was talk of that on All Stars. So I don't know if that kind of helped push this new plan forward. But again, you could still just tank out Beth. I mean, I just wouldn't make it that difficult on myself. Do I think that they're going to be able to successfully get Jed out? I do. I think even as much as they waffle, as much as they waver, I don't think we're going to see a scenario where Ty keeps Jed. Jed was crying today, and Ty cried for Kiefer, but Ty has not shed one tear for Jed. I think he's just kind of over it. I think once Jed went with Beth, it felt like a betrayal on both sides. This is just me speculating from a human level. I think he was like, I don't have him, I don't have her, whatever. And then he's just going on with his own game at this point. As good or as bad of an idea, probably bad, as that would be, because Jed would have, if he just would take Beth out, then Ty would have Jed all to himself. And he would still kind of go with the other side.
At this point, I thought that maybe he had a chance to stay because he found out that this back door actually might, or screen door, whatever it is, might actually happen. You know, if he would have found out maybe Thursday morning, like before the vote, he would have had very little time to, to do the waterworks and try. But like, you don't want to count anything out, because maybe Jed would talk to him, or maybe he's just like, forget this. I'm rich. I don't need this money, and I definitely don't need y'all. So peace out. I mean, he could be that way too.
He went into the house not knowing them. He doesn't need to know them outside of the house. Ty said forever he was playing for his mom and his grandmas and himself. So if these two people, I mean, it's not that cutthroat if you break it down in that they don't really know each other and they're a throuple. It's not as cutthroat if you look at it like that.
I think that there's a potential, because Jed he has flipped a lot in this house, and they convince themselves, like in the moment, they're like, yeah, no, I could work with Jed. I don't need him out. Like in the moment, they all of a sudden like convince themselves of something completely different. So I think it could happen, but it's much harder this way, because I think Kiefer sees the damage of leaving them all. But you guys, does it even matter, because we have a fake double eviction happening?
That's going to come right back. So anyone at home who's like, I think, Melissa, I can see, because I have those feelings when I'm watching Jed, when Beth told him and he had that realization, my heart did. I was like, oh God, he's getting stabbed all over the place. Like, it's hard. But then I think he's got a battle back situation with the fake eviction. And technically, Jed did kind of start this when he decided to go after his own alliance member, Kiefer. When they could have just stayed strong to the end. So there's been tons of moves that got us to this. It's not like Jed's getting completely blindsided here.
Yeah, well, the thing with Big Brother when you're playing it is that one day is literally like a week's worth of like gameplay for them, because they have nothing else to do. So I'm pretty sure they completely forgot, like Jed has completely forgot that he even put Kiefer on the block, to be quite honest. Just like Beth forgot that she put Tara on the block, and it's like, I'm so completely hurt. How could you do this to me? And Tara's like, you and Jed put me on the block. Like, it's the only thing. Like, you have nobody in the same. I'm like your best friend, but I put you on the block, and it's like what? She might be one in real life. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is absolutely insane. So, to be quite honest, anything can happen. And to be honest, I think Beth is gonna come up with something, and I think what she's gonna do, I'm just going to come up with the craziest thing I can imagine right now. She's going to tell Jed to start bad-mouthing her and say that, let's get into a fake argument. And then you're going to tell him that you're coming after me next week.
And break up.
And we're going to break up and everything. And then we hate each other. And Ty's going to be like, I'm going to go to Ty and I'm going to make him feel like he's my number one. And then you're going to go to Ty and be like, I'm done with this bitch. Whatever. And then, we'll get rid of Brayden, because this is my plan. Like, this is totally my plan. Like, we're going to do this. And that's how they're going to keep them.
That's a perfect. Or then she's going to go, you know what? I think he feels betrayed. And right now I saw him outside holding hands with Braden because she was talking about that, how they're very close and holding hands, putting hands on the legs. So Jed, you and I break up. So the fake fight happens. And then Jed, you go hit on Braden. And then we're going to have what's a square? I'm sorry, that took me way too long to think of. We're going to have a square of a love square. And then he'll think, oh, Braden betrayed me. So I'm going to go back to my original, because you go to the new one, you think the new one's not going to cheat on you. It's on you too. You go back to the exes. So I think
and then she's going to be like, why would you get rid of Jed and give that to Tara? Now Tara's going to win because she took out Jed. You need to take out Jed in order for us to win. We need to take out Jed. Yeah. So let's go after him next week. Yeah, I could totally see that happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't put it past her because she's doing whatever she can to make sure that she's the one that takes out Jed. If she's going to take out Jed, I think she takes Jed to final 2, or the two of them go to final 2. But she needs it to be her move. So she's going to work hard to make sure that Braden goes. But if Jed goes and then he battles back, I am going to love it so much because they stabbed him and then he walks back in.
And then he's for sure going to win. So it came to fruition, everything that they feared. And how epic would it be if Beth had to battle Jed to come back in the house?
I honestly just want to see their goodbye messages. I want to see what these goodbye messages look like. You know, are they going to be like, so sorry, we love you, see you in the jury house?
Or it's Ty and Beth in the DR, and they're like, we've been together the whole time. And then they kiss, and then Braden pops up. I'm the new triangle. Horrible. Yeah.
Wait, who said that? Jed would not get scared away if Beth did that. Like Jed is Latino. Jed deals with Latin people. Latin people are crazy as shit. Like Beth is nothing compared. I mean, that's probably why he likes Beth, is because Beth is a little crazy, reminds him of the people back home. Like that's basically what it is. He would totally be down for that.
I think it's very likely that Beth is the next one to go. So the house guests don't know that this is fake. Obviously, they're going to all of a sudden go through the motions of a double eviction. And I was trying to think of this, like who they're going for next. And Beth is like the top of so many people's lists.
Unless she wins the double.
Unless she wins the double or Veto. Then she's probably the second person to go out on Thursday. If she wins, or if Jed happens to stay, then probably Tara will be the second person to go out. And then we might have like a Braden Tara go.
If Tara goes, and let's just say Jed and Beth both stay, this will be the most unsuccessful HOH in the history of Big Brother HOHs. This will be such a waste of an HOH. She had one job. You break up the throuple by any means necessary. You just, if one gets himself off, I don't want Ty to go, but if I was in Tara's situation, I would just break up that threesome. I wouldn't make it this difficult. But she's making it way too difficult, again, because Tara doesn't have self-awareness. Tara's also a delusional player, and so we're full of these delusional players.
I had so high hopes for her, like so many high hopes. Like I was like, girl, that's it. Like you were doing the Jessica, you know, you were putting up the two guys, you know, and then it was like, wah, wah.
Yeah, Jess, I'd be like, if you put those two up, and I'm trying to think who is the Braden from BB21. There was no one really that likable, but
who was the who of BB21?
Braden. You know what I mean? Like if you have the two guys up, you have Jerkson and Aquadouche up.
It would be Tommy. Just kidding. Would be Tommy.
Yeah. He's not likable, but he would be like the Braden. He's not really he's not likable. He's not.
He was in the house. In the house he was very likable in the house.
Not to me.
So, and he was definitely he was definitely the option, because I mean when I put both of them up, Nick was irking me till no end, but I was like, he's not even worth me putting up. Like there's just no way, you know. I need to get rid of someone in the 6, and Tommy was my only other choice. to put
imagine
him,
though, if you went through all that work to put those two guys up, one of them took took the other one off the block, and then you were part of the plan to go, JK, don't vote one of them out, vote Tommy.
Yeah. No, I at that point, like, I love Tommy too much to have done that, but it was really funny winning that veto though, because they were all about to barf. It was just the best. it was the best thing in life to see them.
Were you triggered then when you saw them talking about Tara after she won, and then you were like, oh, that's kind of how
absolutely
was about when you won?
Absolutely. That's why I don't understand Tara's reasoning. Like, dude, you literally heard the three of them talk shit about you, like, before you, and you didn't put Ty on the block when you heard this. Right. Like, they were making fun of you, and now, like, you put Brayden, and Brayden is definitely still a possibility, because that's a game move for them too.
Yes, of course.
To keep their Lions solid. It's it's just a bad move all around. I don't even know what that girl was thinking.
If I were Ty, I would not vote Jed out. If I were Ty and Beth, I would not vote Jed out, because I've worked with him the entire game. So why would I trust Brayden now over Jed? So yeah, putting Brayden up was just so risky, so dangerous. But like so I said, he's on slop now, and we might have a whole new Ty at this point.
Yeah, he is definitely not like Canada's favorite much anymore. Like, he's been a little meanie.
Oh my God, yes. I want to see Jed and Beth have to battle back in. Which one wins?
Jed better not throw it to her. I think at this point, hopefully he would have learned his lesson from...
Right? If he just got voted out after saving her with the veto, please do not throw that to her. Give me a break.
No, you don't, unless you're married, unless we're going into BB marriage, you have married players, then I can see this happening. You just met this woman. You don't even live in the same area. It sounds like she's not leaving. Where's she? Not Ontario. Ottawa? No, where's she from?
Alberta.
Alberta. She's in Alberta.
Where's he though? I don't know my geography.
He's Toronto. He's in here. He's in
Where is Alberta? Is that West Coast then?
Oh yeah, he's West Coast. Yeah, she's West Coast.
Because so Toronto's East Coast. So yeah, it's not gonna work out, guys.
You're so young. It's not gonna work.
No, not gonna work out.
They don't know that yet.
That's my vote. That Jed goes this week, and then Beth goes, and then they battle back, and I don't care who comes back. I mean, Jed. I want Jed to come back, but
me too.
I mean, Jed is definitely better to look at than Beth is. So I mean, I would definitely go Jed all the way. He's a good looking dude.
I will say this Ty is, no matter how savage people think he is, he's much more entertaining. I like it.
Also, have you seen that smile of his?
Oh. They're good looking. They're good looking dudes.
I would fall for the mist in that house of Ty.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm like, I'll protect you too. Yeah.
If I was 23 again, like, sometimes I forget. I'm just like, these idiots, and then I'm like, oh wait, I've probably done this when I was 24 or 25. So it's why they keep casting these youngins,
Yeah.
That's what makes me think that Beth really will vote Jed out and then set her sights back on Ty and hope she can make him forget about his friend back home.
Right. I mean, all day she's like, you've been my number one since day one.
Didn't she kiss him on the mouth recently? She kissed Jed and she kissed him on the mouth on the feeds.
Yeah, and she told Jed. She told Jed that they kissed on the mouth. I was just like,
yeah, but Ty wants nothing to do with her, and she's like trying just to be like manipulative, like, crawling on him.
I'm trying to figure out who's buying her, who's buying this, who's buying what she's selling, because I thought nobody was, but
everyone in the house has.
Tara took her down. I mean, like, they took her down, so obviously someone's believing something.
But that was
Jed definitely believes
manipulating Jed. Yeah, I think it's just Jed. I think Jed is snowed by Beth. Joleen, you have 12 points in the draft.
I was like, 12 points.
You have 12 points. That is you are the leader. David also has 12.
David is so
you
good
guys
at
are in the lead. David only has Jed left. You have Tara and Ty left.
TNT, the new TNT.
And then
wait, how do I win?
You
Jess, you got Keith.
have Kiefer and Braden left.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
But you have 3 points.
Why?
So just behind Joleen a little bit.
Just behind?
Never good at this stuff. Sarah, what do you have?
I have 1 point. So
wait, how did she get 13? Was it because of V? Was it because of V?
well, yeah, Victoria gave her 5 points.
Thank you, Spicy V.
Yeah.
Rohan gave David 6 points. So even though both of those people are out, like those are good points.
Legends.
And then
Team
Jed has 5 points.
Targets.
Tara has 4. Ty has 3.
Wow.
And Kiefer has given you 6 points, Jess, but Braden has given you -3. So that takes you down to 3.
Give me -3.
Every time you're nominated, you get a negative point.
Get out of here.
Our little pawn, Braden, keeps knocking you down because he keeps going on the block.
Wow.
And
He keeps volunteering. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, right?
That sucks.
Gosh. I feel so, thank you. This is great. This is such nice
yes.
news.
I am like blown away at how good you did this season.
Because I'm so horrible at this draft, Jess. Like literally, Survivor, negatives. Big Brother All-Star, negatives. Just horrible. This is a fluke. It's crazy. Or
That's awesome.
But I think one of you 3 has the winner. I think that
it's Ty.
It could be Ty. It could be Kiefer, though. Jess could.
Yeah. It could be Braden. Who knows?
Braden has Jed.
It's definitely not Tara. We know that. So I don't have to. She's not going to.
No. That's not going to happen. And I have Beth. And so I'm going to go out on a limb and say she's not winning.
Poor Sarah.
So
that would really be something.
That would be something.
That would be something.
Look, Braden has come in second in so many comps. I think he's on the verge of winning. That's going to help you, Jess.
It would be awesome if he won.
Also help him.
It would.
If he won this double eviction, that'd be great.
Yeah, except that he would put Tara up and not like.
But I think he'd put her up next to Beth. I think he'll put Beth and Tara. I think. And I think they would, as long as Beth didn't win veto, I think that they would vote Beth out.
I feel like he's going to do what Kiefer tells him to do.
Yeah.
Because they have that bedroom alliance now, that nighttime alliance, where he's like, Daddy Keef, what should I do?
Yeah. Because Braden's social game is really, really good.
It is.
And if he just, listens to Kiefer, I guess. Is that the only person? I mean, he listens to Ty. Whatever Ty wants.
It could be a Braden Kiefer final 2. I could see that happening. And then Jess, you got 2 people in the final 2.
Then Jess might actually win that.
Because they have a pretty tight little bond there now.
Well, I'm really hoping that Braden doesn't leave, to be quite honest. I mean, I feel like Judd, just based on bad gaming principles, should leave.
Right.
It's like you can't win a veto and not take yourself off and still stay.
Guy,
That's
the rest of his life he's gonna have. He's never gonna live this down. It's gonna be in every. It's just kind of like when what's his face. Sarah will know the name. The young blonde guy. When Sari and the gals talked him into giving up his immunity necklace.
Yeah,
Eric. Yes. It's gonna be an Eric moment where there's like, no, you'll be totally fine. And he's like, I'm doing it. And it's going to play over and over and over. So what did come to fruition is Jed and them were always like, we're going to be legends. They will be. The least loyal alliance in the history of BBCan, and also one of the dumbest moves.
Yeah. They've been named like the worst cast in terms of like strategic, strategy game level. Like, yes, entertaining, probably the most entertaining cast.
Wait, who? What cast?
Best season. This one.
This one is the most strategic?
Oh yeah. Because they're not really playing like that. It's weird.
Because normally
I mean,
you
yes,
have
I don't
you
know.
have some kind of alliance that's either snowballing everyone like a BB7 with the pretty boys, or last season they cut it short.
Actually, some people are comparing them to Worse Than Faute. Yes, especially with this move right here.
Who flipped? Oh
yeah,
my
gosh.
Yeah. I saw comparisons for Jed to Fessy. I still don't think Jed is as dumb as Fessy.
No,
I don't think so.
There's not many who are that dumb. Come on.
Fessy is like dumb.
Oh, it's a whole other class. Yeah,
strategically.
For sure. Hey, Seth, will you put the link to the draft spreadsheet, please? Jonathan, you can look at the spreadsheet. It actually might be in the description. I think I tried to keep that there, but maybe I forgot. But then you can look and see how the draft works.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I've done multiple drafts with Sarah now, and I still don't understand how the points work. I just like when she reports to me how I'm doing. And Maureen says it perfectly. These people are terrible, but I love watching it. Like,
exactly.
But it's a well casted, I think, or cast show or season, because they're very entertaining individuals. Maybe they're not the most well versed in previous games of Big Brother and stuff, but they're just
all doing too much. It's kind of like, but if they weren't doing too much, then we'd be bored. Exactly. You know what I mean? If I'd
rather watch this than watch the pretty boys just wipe through the house. BBCan9 was so sad because it's like no other person besides those dudes knew what was going on. Yet it was happening. It's just those kind of seasons I don't like. So I'd rather watch a mess than watch that.
Absolutely. And even though they're like poor game decisions, or I think I just want to say like not the wisest game decisions, they're trying. Like they are overthinking, and I'd rather overthinking than not figuring it out at all. Like even though Vic, I disagreed with like her protecting Jed and Ty, but at least she was like guns a-blazing gonna do it, you know? I'd rather see that and then just
absolutely. They're like like the most entertaining, but the mess of like just it's like, dude, this would have been a one and done. Keith, you could have had you could have had Beth out. You could get Jed out next week. Everybody wants Jed out.
Easily.
Like why be extra? Great for us. Yeah. But all of this unnecessary, and he might not even leave this week. You just messed.
Well, I mean, they don't know that someone might be coming back, so that's Big Brother messing with them.
And we had, BB22 where people just weren't using the POV, or the same people were winning. And the fact that BBCan has it where the HOH can't play in the POV, so you never know, no one has ultimate power in that house. So I like that aspect of it, because I was getting so sick of just, you were expecting the expected. Big Brother unfortunately has become in recent seasons expect the expected, and it's supposed to be obviously expect the unexpected. So this is definitely unexpected.
Yeah, and none of them are doing jury management. Like jury
Beth
who
is perfectly like perfect jury management,
nailing it.
There's management in jury. No. What does what? They go to jury. There's a jury. People are voting. What?
I don't just magically win this game because I said so?
I thought it was last person standing. I thought it was me.
You're the last girl. You automatically win.
Right. Yeah. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
that's exactly how.
That is that.
This is fun.
You guys, ladies, thank you so much for joining me and chitting and chatting about these entertaining and messy house guests. And thank you everyone in the chat for chatting along with us. Joleen, do you have anything you want to promote or anything?
No. On Friday, Sarah and I will be talking about Big Brother. So it'll be after the eviction. We'll see what happens in the double. So definitely want to join us for that. And I'll go live tomorrow after the episode, and we'll see. Or not Wednesday. No, what is it? This is Tuesday. Thursday after the episode. Thursday
after the episode. Wednesday you have Sip and Key, right?
I have Sip and Key Wednesday. Then Thursday I talked my husband back into doing Married to Bravo. So now we're just jumping into the Real Housewives of Jersey. So if you want to jump back in. you
You
know,
got married with Bravo, and you also have your new Patreon stuff, right? Do you have new married to stuff with
we have
Joe
Married to
on your
Survivor
Patreon?
too. I've guilted him into so many things, you guys. So back
love
into our
it.
Married to Bravo, which we started in 2017, and then I replaced him with other people, and now I'm like, let's get back to the original. And then we're doing Married to Survivor for Patreon only, and I'm doing The Circle reviews for Patreon only. So check it out.
Nice.
Yes. Jess, what do you have going on? What do you want to promote?
Oh my gosh, absolutely nothing. All I do is cook and clean.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I kind of do, but I do other things too.
Well, I think your Twitter is fire. You talk about shows, and that's what I like to see on Twitter.
I like tweet. I tweet and delete all the time. Tweet and delete. Like the way that people are just coming for like old tweets is like I don't even tell how I feel anymore. It's just like really bad, and I just I don't want anybody to feel bad coming out of the house. I don't know. I know.
It's very nice of you.
Yeah.
It's very nice of you.
And Thursday, I'm going to be playing Among Us with some of the BBCan characters.
Fun.
With Bruno from BBCan 3 and 5. And I'm pretty sure it might be like we've done a couple. I've done some Among Us with like Josh and Julie and them. So we kind of do Among Us. We play Among Us, and Bruno does it on his Twitch. I've been trying to figure out if I should like do mine as well. Like I don't know. I always want to recap stuff, but it feels so weird talking to myself. I don't know how you ladies do it. I always say that you guys do so well when you're just like recapping by yourself. I don't like doing that because it makes me feel like I'm back in the Big Brother house and I'm talking to myself and I feel crazy. So it's just kind of like, oh, even though there's like, chats over here, I'm gonna be like, so today it just doesn't work. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a couple of just, random things on Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. The girls kind of took a hiatus until the next Bachelor season. Unfortunately, they don't watch quite as much TV as I do.
So, you guys will be back for Bachelor or The Bachelorette, I guess.
Oh yeah. We definitely will. But they don't watch The Circle, and they don't watch BBCan, and they don't do a lot of that. So whenever I just get a whole bunch of people together just to talk, I'm just gonna do round tables. So follow me on Girl Let's Agree to Disagree, and you might catch a round table at some point in time. I'll talk to you ladies.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, if anybody is watching The Circle, last week Jess joined me for a recap. I also have a recap up with David, and then tomorrow Busy Blue is going to join me.
Yay!
The two of the episodes that are going to drop tomorrow. So let's say that's 5 and 6.
Oh, they're going to be so good. I love this season. I love this season. It's already better than the first.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, let's not get too excited too soon. But yeah.
The drama of it, the strategy of it. It was too kumbaya last season. It's like everybody's still friends.
It is more cutting this season.
Right?
Yeah. It was like, wow, that was like zero. That was like 100, like 0 to 100 in like 2.5 seconds. I was like, no, I like you ladies. What are you doing?
No.
That's always good TV.
They gotta fight.
I hate it when women fight, but I love it too. I don't know why.
Yep. Exactly. Well, we like the good television, right? That's
it's good TV.
Sarah, it got so dark where you are. All of a sudden, I look up and I'm like,
this entire stream.
Well, she said it was
changed constantly.
It's because it was sundown, right?
Yeah, the sunset over the ocean.
Sunset. Oh, beautiful!
And it affected my lighting this entire stream.
Just when I look over, I'm like,
you're like,
Sarah.
She got really dark really fast.
She got a scary movie. Are you going to get murdered?
That would be really creepy if someone was behind her. Be like,
oh,
no!
It's just Douglas. Hi. You done?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yes. So you're welcome on my weird lighting. That's just for you guys. Special. Thank you guys again, and thank you everyone who joined us. We'll see you. We'll see you on the internet, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Bye.